Maple Grove's only movie theater abruptly announced on Sunday that it's closing for good after a 21-year run. But as Delane Cleveland reports, city officials say plans are already in the works for the future of the site.
Oh, I was very sad because we love to come to the movie. It's one of the few things you feel safe doing right now.
For more than 20 years, a movie theater has sat along Elm Creek Boulevard in Maple Grove, adjacent to the shops at Arbor Lakes.
Sadly, I guess I like the fact that it wasn't real crowded. You know, you'd pick your seat and sit far away from other people and have a good time.
But the good times of watching blockbusters here on the big screen will now be a thing of the past. Over the weekend, AMC announced the permanent closure of this theater. City officials had been tipped off by a developer several months ago that a closure was imminent, but they thought it wasn't going to happen until the spring.
I personally am not pleased that we're left without a movie theater in Maple Grove.
Joe Hogaboom is Maple Grove's Director of Community and Economic Development.
Early on, when we heard that there were troubles at the theater and that there was the threat of closure, we did try to do some reaching out to other types of theaters that are in the area to just see if there'd be an interest in this, and really didn't get a lot of traction on that.
The site itself was deemed a nuisance property by the city in 2019 due to concerns over large potholes and trash in the parking lot. Management eventually took care of those issues, but they never invested in the interior improvements like other theaters around the metro. After the pandemic hit, Hogaboom said the theater couldn't quite recover. Now, the site will get a complete makeover.
Well, there's plans to redevelop the site, reuse the theater building, but remodel it extensively to be a business called Floor and Decor. It's a home remodeling type business where folks can go in and choose different accents for remodeling projects in their homes.
The adjacent parking lot will also get 3 new buildings that will house several restaurants and a bank. While the city is excited about the new opportunities for the area, some say they'll miss their movie theater.
There's nothing else real close.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Many schools across Minnesota are facing staffing shortages amid a surge in COVID cases. The Osseo School District is having a tough time filling teacher and nursing positions. Reporter Sonia Goins shows us what it's doing to adapt.
Last week we talked
about an increase in teacher and staff absences is causing concern in the Osseo School District.
Our previous bad day or high number day in Osseo was about 350 staff absences. And last Friday was almost 600.
Education Minnesota Osseo President Kelly Wilson says the pandemic is to blame for the staffing shortages and absences. Some teachers got new jobs because of distance learning, while others are out sick because of the virus, or they have to quarantine because of exposure.
For many of them, they're just concerned about getting COVID, concerned about the expectations and the exhaustion, the mental and physical wear on themselves, that they're a lot of times resigning.
And there are not enough substitute teachers to cover the shortfall, so it's all hands on deck. Some teachers are using their prep time to cover other classes, and people at the district office are also filling in.
We got administrators that day after day are filling in lunchroom duty and recess duty.
In Minnesota, all substitute teachers are required to have a 4-year degree. Long-term substitute teachers are required to be certified teachers with some expertise in the subject that they are assigned to teach. The Osseo School District is offering incentives to bring in more subs.
They have offered not only increased pay, but bonus pay or stipends if you sub 5 full days in a week.
Meanwhile, officials are hoping COVID-19 case numbers decrease, putting an end to the vicious cycle.
We're just exhausted, and unfortunately, some people are questioning how long they're going to be able to continue at this pace.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The Osseo District is also advertising to parents and community leaders to become substitute teachers. We reached out to the district, but they did not respond to our request for an interview by airtime. A U.S. district judge has sentenced a Brooklyn Park man to more than 2 years in prison for his role in setting fire to a St. Paul nutrition store. The incident happened during the riots that followed the death of George Floyd. Samuel Fry set fire to Great Health Nutrition on University Avenue, one of at least 1,500 businesses damaged during the unrest in May of 2020. Court documents show Fry lit a piece of paper on fire and used hand sanitizer to then accelerate the flames. Fry also received 2 years of supervised release following his time in prison. The largest theater school in the northwest suburbs has returned to live productions. Front Porch Musical Theater in Rogers will perform Oliver Jr.
Music Theater International released it just before COVID. And so we had in our mind we were going to do it. But really, I believe we're one of the first theaters in the country to do it because it wasn't available to license until now.
About 60 children are part of the production. The show has 2 casts and draws talent from across the northwest suburbs. Many of the students have returned year after year.
I've built so much confidence being in these shows, and it's really taught me just life lessons that I'll have with me forever.
I have been with Front Porch since I was 5, so basically like almost all my life.
The show runs this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Performing Arts Center at Rogers High School. The Robbinsdale City Council recognized the community service of a person who has been volunteering for 52 years with the Robbinsdale City Band.
I have very mixed feelings about this decision. RCB has been in my blood for almost my entire life.
That's Mike Serber speaking before the Robbinsdale City Council last week. The council recognized Serber for serving in the band and directing it for 30 years. Council members said they were flabbergasted when hearing about Serber's retirement and say they found it tough to imagine the city band without him.
Park Center and Osseo have played some memorable boys basketball games over the years. Both schools feature outstanding programs, and this season, the 2 teams are both ranked in the top 10.
The first of 2 regular season meetings between the teams was played at Osseo. And what a start in the opening seconds for Park Center. Leo Torber with a steal and breakaway dunk just 10 seconds into the game. But Osseo scores the next 10 points, including 3 on this shot from Tyrese Waits. He scored a dozen points in the game. Lewis Carger with a nice hesitation and go move attacks the basket and scores. The Orioles are up 7. The Pirates, though, score the final 9 points of the first half. Cody Pennebaker passes to James Spencer for the lay-in. Braden Carrington hits a long 3-pointer. The Pirates take a lead on the Orioles into halftime. Second half, Carrington drives to the basket, scores and is fouled. The senior nets 26 points in the game to lead all scorers. Then it's Pennebaker with a spin move in the lane and hits the shot on the paint. He and Torber each net 18 points on the night. Osseo trying to rally. Bless Barheaga scores here for the Orioles, but it's not enough. Pennebaker with a dunk as Park Center wins 64-49. The teams play again at Park Center on February 7th.
The top-ranked Hopkins girls basketball team played its first game Friday since December 21st, but the Royals showed little rust.
Hopkins at home to play Edina in a late conference game. First half, and the Royals' Taylor Woodson hits a shot from the elbow. She leads all scorers with 23 points. Kelly Boyle with a good pass in transition to an open Amaya Battle who hits a 3-pointer. Battle finishes the night with 16 points. At the other end of the court, Battle with a great block. The future Gopher played a solid game. Hopkins leads 44-14 at halftime. Second half, and the Royals continue their offensive surge. Liv McGill drives to the basket and scores. 12 points in the game for her. Woodson on the move, spots Nunu Agara open in the paint. Agara with 2 of her 21 points, and Hopkins leads by 42. Battle with a quick step and then drives to the basket plus the foul. Hopkins is well on its way to a 9th straight win. Hopkins wins big over Edina 87-29. The Royals play at number 4 Eden Prairie on Friday night.
The Breck Blake boys swim and dive team has won 5 straight Class A state titles and will likely contend for a 6th this season. On Friday, the Bear Stangs challenged perennial Class AA power Edina. Here's Jason Malillo with those highlights.
It's one of the best in Class A against one of the best in Class AA as Breck Blake visits Edina. And right out of the gate, a great race as Dan Gabriel and Mikey Turk battle to the wall in the 200 medley relay, Gabriel touching first for the Bear Stangs. Breck senior James Pan is the defending Class A state champion in the 200 individual medley, and he takes gold here. Charlie Crosby is also a state champ for the Bear Stangs, and he sets a new pool record in the 50 free with a time of 20.09. 500 freestyle, Breck Blake's Charlie Egland answers the bell with a winning time of 4 minutes 43.37. Egland also won the 200 freestyle. In the 100 backstroke, Crosby does it again, swimming to victory with a pool record time of 47.64. What a night for the senior, as Breck Blake swims to victory over Edina. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Thanks, Jason. That's all for sports. I'm John Jacobson.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.